Good morning, everyone. I wanted to come on today because I got this really powerful download, and God said to me, just go on Facebook Live without any makeup, do your video without any makeup. So here we are, raw and real. And the message that really came across clearly, and it was right after I woke up, was you don't have to have it all together. And I felt like someone else needed to hear that. And because it's a rainy day, and that can really just like conjure up a lot of emotions for people, just having that dreariness kind of combines that sadness or whatever is trying to come to the surface. I wanted to come on today and invite you to be in this space with yourself. So if you're watching this video and you're at work, maybe you want to wait until you have some just private alone time, because I'm really going to be diving deep today to help you unravel and uncover what is meaning to come to the surface and come out. And I see Joy join. That's awesome. You are seeing me without any makeup, just raw and real. That was the message that I got today. And even though I haven't fully had all of my coffee, God said, nope, you need to go deliver this message. So today I actually want to talk about elements of that, us being vulnerable, us having the masks off. And that's part of the divine feminine. So we're going to be talking about aspects of the divine feminine today, the art of receiving, how you can actually start to draw and magnetize your desires and what is in the highest good for you into your life. And I'll give you 4 little tips on how to actually begin to anchor in that feminine energy for yourself. So I want to just open up the conversation today and just noticing your body, really just being in your body. So often we're in our heads, right? We're thinking about the list we have to do and what we have to eat for breakfast and all these different things. I want you to really anchor into your body today and feel where you have tension in your body. Where are you holding that? Is it in your shoulders? Do you feel heaviness in your chest? I want you to really tune in, and you can even close your eyes. Tune into where those tense spots are in your body. And you can keep your eyes closed during this. And what I want you to do is to imagine a beautiful golden light opening up from the sky. And that golden light is going to come down into those areas of heaviness, wherever that is in your body. And just breathing in and letting any of that heaviness, that tension, to just be dissipated. And you might notice that you didn't even think about it when you got up, right? It's like that was there, but you didn't know it was there until we put our focus on it. And now you're present in the room with this conversation. And I want you to have a piece of paper out with you, piece of paper and a pen. And you can journal down anything that came up for you, because it not only is it physical tightness, but it could also be linked to an emotion. So I want you to start to become in tune with your body. Not just today, this is going to be a daily practice for you. And one part of this whole conversation, the divine feminine, receiving, all of that, is feeling. And so often we don't want to feel. We want to numb, we want to run away, avoid, and trust me, I get it. When we actually allow ourselves to sink into the feeling, it dissipates. And if you've heard the phrase, what you resist will persist, that's what happens with stuck energy. So we're going to be talking about how to really just let those feelings go, allow that to move through you, and connect with that divine aspect of yourself. the reason why you are here, the reason why you're drawn to these videos. So why is the divine feminine even important? This is the archetype that I talk about all of the time when I am referencing the quantum queen. The divine feminine is in her power. She's confident. She's trusting. She doesn't need to struggle or have desperate energy. She just sits back and she's in her own power. She doesn't need validation from other people. She doesn't need you to like her. Everything comes from here and her connection to source. And that is what I'm talking about when I'm referencing this divine feminine energy. So it's not that you need to, have people bow down to you or any of that. It's really what I invite women into is the premise of anchoring in your own power, being able to then connect with God, quiet the mind, because that's usually what's happening, quiet that inner critic, so you can actually hear God's voice, so you can actually deliver what you're meant to out into the world. Because I really believe that every single person has a divine purpose. And when you can quiet that inner critic, you can tap into your intuition and you can live out your life purpose. And how do I know, right? This is the journey that I've been on. And if I would have listened to all of the criticism and everything, I would have stopped a long time ago. So that is not why we're here. We are here to move past fear and to really step into your power, which is in essence your quantum queen. So we're going to talk about that today and how you can begin to start doing that. So like I said, don't mind me. I literally have not had my coffee and I got the download and God's like, no, you have to do it now. So we are here now. So the divine feminine, whenever I think of that woman, that quantum queen, it's a woman who has good boundaries. So somebody who, protects their energy, protects their time, has the ability to say no, which I know a lot of us have trouble with. And so, different, sources will call it the wounded feminine. I like to maybe call it the distorted feminine, where we've had certain experiences in our past, that have led us to shut down our emotions, to not have good boundaries, to give our power away. And all of these things really take away from your divine essence or the divine feminine. And the reason why that's important is because if you can't anchor in to your own energy and you're so much out here and you're struggling and you're striving and nothing's working, you're not connected. You feel disconnected. You feel empty and alone. That's usually what happens. That's an external indicator that you're not on the right path. When you're in alignment, when you are connected to source, there's nothing that's going to get in the way. When you are the core essence of your divine feminine self, you are clear in your path. You have good boundaries. You're in your power. You don't get rattled by other people, and you can really come from a place of love. Even if someone triggers you, someone from your external environment comes into your space and triggers something from the past. And it's not about being perfect. I want to be really clear about this. This journey is not about, being perfect or having it all together. So I feel like that's where all of this ties in. You don't need to have everything together. It's a matter of, I think of a tree, like an oak tree. You're staying grounded in your power. You have strong roots. Maybe sometimes a storm comes and the branches get swayed a little bit, but you don't lose your center. And that is what I'm inviting you into with this quantum queen energy. That is why you are all in this group, whether you know it or not. So you have been attracted to this energy, to this container, to my channel for a reason. And especially if you're watching this video, something called you today to tune in and watch. And I'm so glad to see Marina, Stacy. We have people, I'm sure, who are going to watch the replay. Everybody's probably going to work. So if you're watching the replay after, like I said, make sure that you're having a pen and paper and really just drop into this message, because this is really powerful. So what are some of the ways that you can begin to anchor in this divine feminine? If you feel like you're out of alignment, or things aren't going smoothly, or you're getting upset over someone saying something. I'll just give you a quick example. This was actually really funny, but it just shows how far I've grown. So I posted on Facebook about my award, and actually it was on LinkedIn, which is even more hilarious to me. And somebody commented, "Put on some clothes, fool." And I was just like, wow. I was like, wow, on a professional network. That's really funny. But I feel like I reported the comment, I deleted it. And then I just came back to the knowing that everybody's operating from a different lens, right? Everybody has a different life experience, a relationship with themselves. That person's probably in a lot of pain, and I triggered something in them. So it's just important to remember your queen divine essence whenever people are interacting with you every single day. You can take care of this side of the street, and also keep in mind that everybody is coming from different levels of consciousness, and not that anyone is better than anyone else. But like I said, we all have different traumas and different triggers and all these different things. So it's just, to me, it was funny because I'm just like, okay, you could say what you want, that's fine. But, I'm sure all of us have had people say things, or, things happen in our lives, and maybe it's a recurring thing where you're, something's reflecting in your external environment to teach you something, and it's bringing up these emotions of like not good enough or unworthiness or whatever. Your external experiences are actually mirrors for you, as lessons, as ways to grow, to help you grow, so that you can step into your power even more. God is always inviting you in. He's like, oh, let me send that person. Let me make this happen. Let's put that in there. And when you start to come back into alignment with your true self, you start seeing synchronicities in place of those things. So you start to see 1111, or you'll start to see like my spirit animal is an owl. You'll start to see like little things in your external environment that are telling you, hey, you're on the right path. Synchronicities are really just mirrors for us to know, hey, like God's saying, hey, you're on the right path. So anyway, I went off on a little tangent there, but really just wanted to give you an example of something that happened in my life that, so Facebook, I feel like is so, it doesn't show the truth of who we are. And I feel like that's another thing that we all need to keep in mind, that everyone has stuff, everyone has masks and different things. And it's important to stay anchored into your own energy, and to realize that you are doing the best that you can, and you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything together. It's actually in your vulnerability, in your ability to feel your feelings, that you connect to this divine feminine. And that's what I want to talk about next, is really being able to tap into your feelings. And if you're just hopping on, I see Sydney hopped on just now, you're going to want to watch this video from the beginning, and I take you through an exercise where you're tapping into your body, because so often we're up in our heads, right? We don't really feel like, oh, I have tension in my shoulder, unless it's like screaming and really loud, the pain's really loud. So I invite you to go back to that in the beginning and really start to feel into your body, because you might be surprised at how much we just get up in autopilot. We're on our phones, we're eating breakfast, we're taking care of the kids. We don't even tune into how we feel. And when you start to tune into how you feel, and you can let go of that tension and start to let things go and release, that's when you start to anchor into this energy of the queen, of the divine feminine. So that's the first thing, is, feeling into your feelings. Where are you holding on to uncomfortable, stagnant energy in your body? One way that you can start to understand this and to really tap into it is through stillness. And I know you don't want to hear that, but It is powerful. Even if you just, are exhausted at the end of the day and you sit there with your arms open like this and you're like, okay, what do I need to know? Being in that receptive mode and opening up your physical body is going to help to release, number one, because you can't release if you're like this. And it's going to allow you to receive insights and downloads from God, from source, on what you need to let go of. So that's the first thing, is really, connecting to your body, feeling your feelings, and releasing. Because if you have blocks, which we all do, or, wounds, or, unworthiness or guilt or whatever, that's all second chakra blocks. You can't fully receive. So if there are things getting in the way, I think of it as traffic in whatever city you're in, Pittsburgh, New York, whatever. There's so many cars in the way. And in order for you to get that clear path, you need to get all of that resistance out of the way. Meditation and stillness helps to slowly do that. Yes, stillness, know that, need that. Yeah. Elevate. I can't wait for the Elevate retreat. By the way, that's a great plug, Sydney. The Elevate retreat tickets are only available until the 30th. Just wanted to let you all know. I know that I post a lot, but if anybody's interested in coming, you're going to want to buy your ticket before the 30th, because sales will not be, I'm not having, where you can come to the event and buy a ticket. It's going to be closed. And we already have a ton of people coming, which I'm really excited about. So creating stillness, that's absolutely a characteristic of the divine feminine, of tapping into your queen energy. Because when you're still, you're able to receive. If we're constantly like all over the place and we're constantly producing, there is no, how do you expect anything to be delivered to you? God's like, oh, she's too busy. Well, can't tap into that stream. Nope. So making the deliberate, intentional stillness for yourself, the meditation, the prayer, whatever that looks like to you. It could even be taking a walk outside in nature, but making sure you're anchoring into this energy every day. The number one way that I can tell if someone is anchored into their divine feminine is by how fast they talk. And you might be saying, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Your speech and how you're communicating shows how connected you are to your own soul. I speak to so many women who are like, blah, 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 and they're like talking fast and moving fast. It's like, slow everything down. Slow it all down. We don't have to be everywhere and everything and all of the things to everyone. When you are anchored in your divine feminine, you don't need to struggle. You don't need to strive. God will give you the intuition. He will give you the messages that you need to actually carry out your divine purpose. And that's my last point, is really when you slow yourself down, you slow down your breathing, you close your eyes, you create that coherence between the brain and the heart, you're able to actually tune in. You can actually listen to what God's trying to say to you. But if you're always on the go and if you're never creating that alone time, I think of it as like intimacy. Like, hey, let's have a conversation here. But if you're never creating that space, how do you expect to actually receive? God's telling you to do certain things. He's putting impressions on your heart. But if you're not following them, or if you're not even hearing them, how do you expect to carry that out? So this is your first step. Wake up every day, slow your breathing, tune into your body, and feel like what needs to be released right now. What do I need to expand? How do I expand myself even more? Because so many women that I talk to come to me and they're like this. They're contracted. Because fear and all of those lower energy states come from a contracted place. When you open yourself up, you can receive, right? It's beautiful. It's the art of the feminine. the divine feminine, the queen. And think about how a queen sits. She's not like this, like on the throne, right? She's like regal and in her power and poised. And that is what I'm inviting you into, this quantum queen energy where you are tapping into yourself. You're tuning into yourself. You're not doing any type of avoidance or numbing yourself out through food or alcohol. You're actually allowing yourself to feel, which can be scary for a lot of people. They don't want to feel because there's so much there. But when you hold on and you grip and you struggle, God can't deliver blessings into your life. And so I really want you to take this in today, like digest it, take it in, rewatch this video if you want, because something brought you here today. Take that in. This is a gift to you. This is a direct message to you, to your inbox, to slow down, be gentle with yourself, and open yourself up to receiving the blessings that God has for you. So I would love to hear what everyone's feelings, thoughts, what came up for you. Write it in the comments. I would love to see what was unearthed for you through this Facebook Live, because it was directly downloaded from me to you. And I am looking forward to seeing you on the next Facebook Live. See ya.